Lego Star Wars. It's been around for quite a few years and is one of Lego's best-selling lines. But only recently has it ever gotten its own Ultra Build series. Now, if you don't know what Ultra Builds are, they're basically these figures made from Hero Factory bone and armor pieces, much like the Ninjago figures that I reviewed about 2 years ago. What does this have to do with knockoffs? Well, these Ultra Builds have a significant backstory that do relate to knockoffs, so sit back and enjoy the second, technically fourth, episode of Knock It Off. Good evening, this is Medica and welcome to the second episode of Knock It Off. And today we'll be going over Lego Star Wars Ultra Builds. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, but Lego already made those! But the way the Lego Star Wars Ultra Build started off was quite interesting. Originally it wasn't Lego's idea. It was on a Lego Cuusoo page when it was actually called Lego Cuusoo. There's a video that I will link that showcases all the figures that I'm going to be going over today. So this is the website. This is pretty much the idea that was pitched to Lego, and as you can see it was made on May 1st, 2012. Now, let's just have a little read at this Cuusoo page. This series is like Superheroes Ultra Build series. It's not just Stormtrooper, Boba Fett, Darth Vader, C-3PO, Jango Fett, or General Grievous, but think about tons of character we can have. So right off the bat you can tell this guy's native language isn't English, and that's especially eminent in the video.
Someone to build Stormtrooper Darth Vader, but we need to support.
Call for reinforcements.
Now you have a mission. Go to Cuusoo, log on, and support.
Yes, sir.
10,000 watts could make it a real Lego set.
I knew you could do it.
This is a sample pictures. Okay, detail is almost the same because all models we touch with same body pick. In the real product, should be designed all detail again. If you like this, please support and make this a reality. Thanks. So apart from that broken English, here we have the sets themselves. We have a Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, and C-3PO. Now, they look quite accurate to their movie representations. Apart from one problem with their arms that I will point out later, they do look fairly accurate. Maybe not the Stormtrooper's gun, and they all have 40 pieces for some reason. So, because it's got quite a few backers, there was a few other ideas for figures pitched. And if you notice, like, mostly all of these have been actually made into official Lego products. So here we have Jango Fett, which is pretty much Boba Fett, but with different colours, I suppose. And then we have the monstrosity known as General Grievous. Now keep a mental image of this General Grievous because we're going to go back to this in a bit. This looks fairly accurate to General Grievous, except his face looks kind of... I know it's not a real piece, but it just looks fucking shit, shall I say. But yeah, that's the Cuusoo page, and that is the figures that were pitched in this idea. But you'd be happy to know that our favourite people at KSZ, when this project didn't get enough supporters, or Lego just didn't want to make it at the time, KSZ took the idea. So they knocked off the idea off someone who pitched the idea, and then Lego revamped the idea. So the Lego Star Wars Ultra Build idea was pretty much thrown about by multiple different people. First there was the guy who made the Cuusoo page, then KSZ, and then in 2015 they were actually made into official products. But made a lot better. But without further ado, let's just get on to the fucking knockoffs. Now, have you kept the mental image of the 4 figures that were in the Lego Cuusoo page? Well, here are these 4 figures. Now you can definitely see a lot of difference between these and the other ones. Now let's start with Boba Fett. Now Boba Fett is not his correct colour. He's a sickly sand green, and that's not his colour. That looks just like fucking vomit. I need to point that out. And I know this was on the original Cuusoo figure as well, but I don't know why the guy decided to put all these gold bits on him. You can't really add detail onto something this scale, like a small figure this scale. You can't add too much detail. So I'm glad Lego revamped this idea and made them slightly bigger, and added new pieces instead of making them look like this pish. But I noticed the arm joints. I'm gonna get to that later because there's a problem with all of them. Every single one of them. And I don't know why, but I just feel like Boba Fett's antenna thing that isn't there. It just feels weird not seeing his helmet without that little antenna thing that he flips down and it becomes like some form of eyepiece. But yeah, that's Boba Fett, and if you have a look at the back, you can see the only weapon he's carrying is a fucking spear. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? Puncture someone's tires with that? Then we have C-3PO. Now the only thing I need to point is that he doesn't have his like little round chest thing or stomach thing, I can't remember which one's which. But it's fairly accurate, except it's less shiny than the Cuusoo one, but that's to be expected. It can't be chrome now, can it? You see they've got the silver leg there, which is has pretty good attention to detail, because C-3PO did have a silver leg in the original films. There's something that you'll notice with every single one of these, that all of them pretty much have the same build. Then we have the Stormtrooper, which looks nothing like a Stormtrooper apart from the fact that it's white. Honestly, that just looks like some sort of bionicle mock. Look at the mask. Look at that hole in the center of the mask and tell me it does not look like the hole in the center of a Kanohi mask. That's what it looks like to me. So, apart from that, he's fully white. I suppose he looks slightly like a Stormtrooper. But what the fuck is up with that weapon? Could the knockoff companies not be arsed just including one piece for the whole weapon? They had to just attach all these weird connections together just to make this really convoluted piece that looks like absolute fucking garbage? Good on you, kids. I mean, even the Lego Cuusoo gun looks a lot better than that fucking piece of shit, because it's only 2 pieces there, but look how many pieces they used here. They used like a fuck ton of pieces here, and it just looks like shit. I mean, I'm all up for custom pieces, but don't you think this is just a tiny bit excessive? And now we have the big man himself, Darth Vader, whose lightsaber doesn't even look like a fucking lightsaber. It just looks like an overgrown baton. The hilt doesn't even look like a fucking hilt. Why did they include that look piece? I know there were no molds for the hilt pieces at the time, but couldn't you at least put a bit more effort into it to make it seem semi-decent? I mean, look at the fucking face though! His eyes are white. He's seen some shit. He has seen some nasty fucking shit. Yeah, this looks more like, do you remember the really old Lego Darth Vader helmet, the one that was used in the video games? Yeah, this looks like an overgrown version of that, and that thing wasn't fucking accurate at all. I'm glad they've changed that in the newer ones, but that's besides the point. I know this was on the Cuusoo idea as well, but why on earth is there gunmetal on this figure? I mean, for a person like Darth Vader, you wouldn't expect there to be many other colours than black. I know in his original costume it included gunmetal, but it just seems so out of place here. I'm glad Lego actually did fix that. Okay, and I need to point it out now, the arms. Have a look at the arms. It's a wrong fucking connection. The guy used it on the Cuusoo page as well. It's not too much of a gripe, but it's just a real eyesore when you see someone like Boba Fett standing like that. I mean, you can obviously see, it's so apparent his arm joints are fucked when you can see Boba Fett's stance there, and it doesn't look any better with the rest. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that KSZ totally ripped the ideas and designs off of the Cuusoo page. I mean, just have a look at both of them. Let's just take a look. The Cuusoo designs. I mean, they look fairly accurate. I know the body design's just a bit too bland to actually be a Lego set. But then you go to these fucking things, it's like meth not even once. I mean, what the fuck happened here? I mean, honest to fuck, they all look like they're on drugs. I mean, how did you get from this to this? These just look like utter piles of garbage in all honesty. The only one that looks accurate at all is C-3PO, and that's only at a fucking stretch. I mean, he isn't chrome, he isn't... I guess you could forgive that. But guys, that's not where it ends. Remember when I said take a mental note of the General Grievous? Well, KSZ already has got you covered in terms of General Grievous. Oh, fucking hell, even looking at myself makes me fucking... oh. The pose is exactly the same as the Cuusoo one, and you got KSZ Space Wars. Alright, Space Wars. I don't get it. You fucking use Star Wars for the rest of your products, but no, it's Space Wars here? Why did they decide to suddenly change it from Star Wars to Space Wars? And I'm glad they've got the arm right this time, with the actual connections, but that doesn't make up for how much shit this is. Look at its fucking headpiece. Look at its headpiece. And it doesn't even resemble General Grievous' face. It just looks like absolute fucking garbage. I mean, the only thing that makes it look like General Grievous is the fact that he has 4 arms and 4 lightsabers. That's the only thing that makes it slightly look like General Grievous. So after that, Lego pretty much took over the idea and revamped all of them. So that was Lego Star Wars Ultra Build knockoffs. And as you can see, it's pretty interesting and pretty shit at the same time. So now you know where your Ultra Builds came from, and I thought this was a pretty interesting, well, concept, shall I say. So anyway, this is Mecha, and I shall see you all when I make another video. Goodbye.